Breaking news tonight, live, Colorado. The whole country on pins and needles. Everyone with us tonight, not only Robert Thomas, Richard Heaney's former researcher, his colleague, but also his attorney, well known in her region, Linda Lee, is joining us.
Hi,
everyone.
Nancy.
Hi, Linda, I want to thank you for being with us, and I want to make it very clear that no one, Linda, suspects your client of any wrongdoing. But why does everybody focus on that he sold the emails, as opposed to what could be the real crime here?
Well, Nancy, I have no idea why they're focusing on that. As a former prosecutor myself, I agree. It's not really about what he did in terms of selling this. And believe me, it was a minimal amount that he received. That was long before I joined the case. However, as a prosecutor, what's more important is justice here. And the reality is that we now have proof that this was a hoax. We have proof that Mr. Heaney is not who he claims to be, and in fact that he was trying to deceive everyone. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He fooled the police in the beginning, but I hope he doesn't get to fool this jury.
Right now.
Okay, so here we go. He is joining us live from Denver along with his attorney, Linda Lee. Linda Lee is here to make sure that he doesn't get himself into trouble here.
He said, and I quote from the bottom of his heart, he was not looking at my client for any charges. However, as his attorney, obviously aware of the law, I do want to make sure that, you know, immunity is something we do receive. However,
we got a topic, medical marijuana is back on the radar. We got Miss Linda Lee, Mr. Romer, he's a Democrat, and Mrs. Smith, she's a Republican. They partnered to pass Senate Bill 109. Can you explain what Senate Bill 109 is to our listeners, please?
Sure. Senate Bill 109 is essentially a bill which placed a lot of restrictions and obligations on physicians. Prior to Senate Bill 109, physicians were allowed to refer patients to dispensaries. They were allowed to receive incentives from dispensaries for recommending patients to go there. I just made a phone call and he jumped at the opportunity to come here and to help. He was extremely committed and it was no hesitation at all. He was there at the drop of a hat to help out with the cause, and so for that I am ever grateful, and I would like to introduce now the Honorable Governor Bill Ritter.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your involvement in really leading this effort and putting a fundraiser together tonight.
Well, at the Lee Law Firm, what I specialize in is trial advocacy. And if you hire an attorney, you should hire someone who is actually going to fight for you and go to trial if necessary. You need someone who's not afraid to go to trial, and I've conducted tons of trials as a district attorney and also as a defense attorney.
One of the things that made Linda so successful as my campaign manager is also what makes her a great attorney, which is in politics you have to be able to walk into a room and you have to be able to talk to a crowd of people who often don't agree with you, and you got to convince them that the way you see the world is right. And when Linda walks into a room, people stop. When Linda opens her mouth, people listen. When Linda tells you something's true, you believe it. That's what made her so successful on the campaign trailer. That's what makes her so successful in the courtroom. One of the things you need in politics, and you also need in legal representation, is someone who knows all the players, knows how to make a phone call, get something done, get a deal struck. And Linda knows those people, knows their issues, knows how to make contact and to get results. And I think that's the kind of thing in politics or in the courtroom, you just can't do better than that. As an attorney, you usually find two types of attorneys. You find folks who know the law really well, but can't actually command a courtroom. Or you find people who can command a courtroom really well who don't just know the law. And what's amazing about Linda is she has both. She's incredible in a courtroom, has amazing presence and knocks jurors off their feet, and yet also knows every bit of the law well and is always there on the substance. That's a combination you just don't find very often in legal practice.